Welcome everybody to the Your Fielder's Choice MLB Pre-Lock Live Show. I'm your host Devin, joined by Pete. How you doing today, Pete?
What's up, Dev? Doing well. Man, we got a big slate today. 10 games.
Yeah, we lost one because of weather. Lost the Mets
That's true.
game, so
That's right. 9 games in.
keep that
9
in mind.
games, but still big slate.
Yeah, I mean, still a nice slate, but just keep that in mind. Those of you who I assume you're watching, you're playing tonight, so remember, don't have any ownership from that game because it is gone already. It's nice to get that news out of the way early, though. I really prefer, when they postpone these games in advance and then we don't have situations like we saw yesterday. Was it yesterday with the rain? Yeah. Where that same exact game, I think they threw one pitch in that Mets game or got one batter out.
Yeah.
And then
He's got the third batter.
And then delayed it. And so it's nice to get that out of the way. Is there any other weather that we need to worry about tonight or any good hitting weather? What do we got weather-wise tonight?
Actually, the Mets being postponed. We got in Baltimore, which I actually like that game, Seattle and Baltimore. We got like a yellow there. There's going to be a cluster of showers. I think they're going to get the game in, but I do think it's a game we got to pay attention to. Beside that, St. Louis looks like it's going to be after the game, some light rain during the game. So pretty much I'd be looking at the Seattle Baltimore game, which is actually a game I like. I like a bunch of players in there, but that's it. One game to look at, Seattle and Baltimore.
Yeah, as of right now, we got about 50% chance of rain. So it is important to remember that these teams want to get these games in, especially this close to lock. They don't want to cancel. It's a pain in the ass. You got to work around tickets. You got to send your employees home, et cetera, et cetera. So if they can wait it out, they're going to. You still want to be cautious about it, especially in cash games. But GPP wise, especially if there's, it's like a iffy game, that's the scenario though. I don't mind attacking it because they want to get that game in. So it's not to say that it's going to happen, but just something to remember all season with weather wise. So, all right, well, with weather out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into plays. Starting, of course, with pitcher. It's looking like a pretty chalk night, but I think for sure you've got to play Ty the Glass now, correct?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a Garrett Cole guy, but two things. Glasnow's going to catch the ownership. Is cheaper. Price, which he actually should probably be more expensive than Cole, and a matchup. You got Cole and Dunedin, and which, that's where I am down here right now. And it's actually warm today. It's in the mid 80s. The ball's going to fly. It's a minor league spring training park. They get the ball in the humidor. So there's always a chance that ball flying out of here. And now you got Glasnow coming in today, which I think is an awesome matchup. Here he's facing the Texas Rangers, who's just a struggling team since 2020. I mean, look, going up and down that lineup, man, there's only one guy actually that can probably take Glasnow deep, and really that's Nate Lau. I mean, that was 333 ISO, 385 WOA. Beside that, yeah, Joey Gallo. But Gallo struggled against righties pretty much since early July of last year also. That's it. Ronnie Guzman, who I like, more of a fielder, but Glasnow should be able to go up and down that order, man. 36% K rate. I mean, everybody on that team strikes out beside the leadoff guy, Connor Falifa. The rest of these guys are all high 20s. Gallo, 28%. Lau, 27. Guzman, 26. Tejeda, 40%. So Lau should be able to mow these guys down. He should be your cash. Your GPP pivot can be Cole. I was messing around with some lineups with Cole and Glasnow. I just think it's just too much. Because we've done it before in some of these slates. I think it's too much saves. I think there's enough good pitching tonight where you don't have to do that.
Yeah, and that would be, I mean, the ownership is really leaning towards Glasnow and Peralta. Just to touch on Glasnow a little bit more, again, I want to mention this because it's so important with this cheat sheet. You're looking at this cheat sheet. If you're watching this, pull it up on our website. Make sure you have the main slate selected. Pete had an issue with that the other day. I had to give him a hard time about that. But if you look at the numbers that you're seeing for Glasnow, I talked about this the other stream. This is based on the opposing team's lineups, lefties and righties. So you mentioned him having a 35% K rate. Well, considering the lineup Texas is rolling out, he's actually got a 37% based on their exact amount of righties and lefties. And then if you look at the opponent data, that's their lineup. So they've got a super low WOBA at 307. That's third lowest on the slate. Their 165 ISO is bottom 4 on the slate, fourth lowest on the slate. Their K rate is fourth highest on the slate. So there's a lot of things to like about him here. As you look at Cole, Toronto's got a higher ISO, a higher WOBA, a lower K rate. So that's, and then you take into account the price and the field factor, like you mentioned. That's why Glasnow makes a little more sense here. But Cole, GPP pivot, and he is cash viable as well. It's just I would expect Glasnow to see the ownership for all the reasons we just mentioned. So,
and that's what's happened down here in these Dunedin games. You got a guy Cole, it's a power pitcher. He's probably going to give up a home run or two because these Tampa Bay bats, they will swing. They swing away, but they're also going to strike out. But Glasnow, like I said, is the play. Peralta, the SP2 for cash. I mean, that's pretty much, they're going to be the chalk. Peralta's, I don't know, I'm not a Peralta guy, and a lot of this has been playing DFS over the years, but you really got to look at this guy's numbers. I mean, he looked great in spring training. He carried it over now.
Really good.
Really good spring training, right? So he's got 14 Ks in 7 innings right now.
Yep, and his K rate's good, 35%, based on this Cubs lineup. So their numbers are about middle of the pack, but this really hasn't been the same Cubs team for 2 years now. So yeah, he makes a lot of sense at coming in at only 7,700. Pair him with Glasnow, and you've got plenty of salary to play with. If you don't play him in cash, which I think we're saying you probably should, it's probably going to be the chalk pairing. But if you were to go elsewhere, where would you consider?
I mean, you could definitely go to Zach Greinke, who he would be the play of the slate if it wasn't for Glasnow. In Cole, he's going against a Detroit team. Definitely struggling. Houston, he's the heavy favorite. To me, Greinke is always going to be a GPP play for me because he's not a strikeout pitcher anymore. But Greinke would be the popular play. I like Noah for Atlanta a little bit. I mean, he's young. He's actually had a good start. GPP play. Another player we were just talking about earlier for our show, and I did a lot of research on this morning, is Alex Cobb for the Angels. Now, once again, I'm talking GPP here. You don't want me playing him in cash, but me and Cobb has looked really good. He looked really good this spring. I watched him a bunch of times this spring. He in the spring he had 235 ERA. I just put up 143 batting average against him, and then he came in against the White Sox and had a really good game opening day. He had 7 strikeouts to only 1 walk in 6 innings. That's the Alex Cobb that, the one that came up with the Blue or Tampa. We thought was going to be elite pitcher. So he's a different player now. He's got a couple different pitches. So keep an eye out. Don't sleep on Alex Cobb tonight, especially as a sneaky GPP play.
Yep. We are showing, Dean Creamer as a potential punt, but he's got weather to worry about. I'm just not sure you can go there and cash with that weather. Seattle's a pretty weak lineup, but again, chance of a rain out in cash especially for your arms is a pretty massive risk. In cash. John Gant's another guy who's projected to see maybe a little bit of ownership as a flat out punt at 5,700 on DraftKings. Do you have any interest in that?
No, if anything, with Gant, I'm using bats against Gant. Gant's one of those guys, everybody seems like every year Gant's going to come through and have a big year. And Gant, to me, hasn't done anything, hasn't impressed me. I'm actually on the other side of the Gant play. To me, there's some decent pitchers, but they're all, we can line up offense against them too, and on GPPs and stacks.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and move over to catcher, first base. We just combine these a little easier. Typically, DraftKings catchers are a really good spot to punt. There are just very few catchers in the league that are worth paying up for. Where are you leaning here at catcher specifically on DraftKings?
I mean, if you want to look, Sean Murphy for Oakland's probably going to be a righty. He's probably going to be the chalky play. I'm not sure. I like Murphy. I mean, but I'm on this Baltimore game. I like Pedro Severino. He's betting fifth tonight against Sheffield. I think you can pick on Sheffield. Good hitting park. Seattle's also got a bad bullpen. 233 ISO against left-handers. I like Severino. I just don't know if I can get up to him. So if I can't get up to him, hey, Higashoka's actually playing today because that's Cole's catcher. Higashoka, I think you can maybe move to. He's not bad. And is Omar Navarez. Is Navarez starting tonight?
Let me check here. Yes, he's starting. He's batting seventh at 3-4.
I've been playing Navarez actually quite a bit this year. Is there anybody below Navarez? I mean, you got Tucker Barnhart, but it's not it's not a good hit in the stadium. You can get
Yeah,
a couple,
so
maybe a double or something. But
we do have, if you want to pure punt, we do have Alex Jackson starting for the Braves he's batting seventh, which isn't terrible, at 2.3K. So
that
it's not a bad price.
no, not a bad price on. I actually like Alex. Alex Jackson's a good young catcher. That
He's
could be your
got
punt right there, 2-3.
He's got Austin Riley in front of him, Ender Inciarte behind him. So he doesn't have to worry about having the pitcher behind him as well, which is nice. If he gets on base, Ender's got a chance to bring him home. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to punt the position, 2.3K, batting seventh, decent total over 4. I think Alex Jackson's probably your punt play on the board here. You got Grayson Griner as well for Detroit, but he's got Greinke and he's 100 more. I would rather play Alex Jackson.
Yeah, I like Jackson. We didn't really talk about Alcantara actually pitching tonight, and I think Alcantara is another one that's actually in a decent spot as a righty, playing at home. There's only 2 actually bats in Miami order that could hurt him. So just add Alcantara to your MME GPP mix. Also, he's got 17 strikeouts in his first 12 innings this year. But his velocity is actually up. So he's mixing some more velocity, changeups, so on.
All right, let's talk some first base. So ownership wise, Freddie's the big boy that is looking like the pay up guy facing Alcantara that you were just talking about. He's got 304 ISO, so he's got plenty of power. But you're actually looking to potentially make this one of your spots where we kind of get away from chalk a little bit with Ohtani.
Yeah, I like Ohtani a lot tonight. He's one of my favorite players on the board. He's 4.5, which actually I think Ohtani should be more in the 5K range. I mean, he's facing right-hander, Singer, 222 ISO, 334 WOBA. He's got a hit in every game, but 2 this year, smashing the ball. Ohtani's my favorite player. I know you got Jared Walsh actually batting cleanup, $200 more. I like Walsh. I think he's in a good spot. To me, Freeman's more of a GPP play. He's a good park for him, a good lefties park, which we'll get to later on with Dickerson also. So where's the chalk taking us right now? It is Freeman, right?
Yep.
So it's
So Freeman.
I think it's more of a GPP play, but
so Freeman's showing as the pay up option, but again, he's pricey, 5,300. You can get Ohtani, 800 less. They are the same price on FanDuel though, so there's a decision there. But now we have Walsh batting cleanup surprisingly, and he comes in at 3,100 on FanDuel. So he's
been crushing the ball.
He certainly has to be on your radar. He's following Trout, so that gives him a ton of safety. We also got Max Stassi, by the way. He just popped up as well. Actually, let me see his DraftKings price. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong. Oh, Stassi's 3.3. Sorry, I had FanDuel pulled up for a second. But yeah, Jared Walsh comes in. He's 4.7 on DraftKings. He's only 3.1 on FanDuel. So I expect Jared Walsh with this next update to climb up the ranks a bit on FanDuel because that's a really nice price. Freeman at 3.7, though, that's underpriced on FanDuel. So he is certainly a good play. Ohtani is there as well. Jared Walsh. But yeah, DraftKings, you're really liking Ohtani. That's your favorite cash play?
Yeah. I also, Trey Mancini. Once again, I like this game tonight. I want to beat up on Sheffield. Mancini's batting second tonight, 381 WOBA, but 268 ISO. Had a home run yesterday. I can dig playing him. What's Mancini's place? And also, you want to drop all down. You got Lejos batting cleanup today in that same game. His price went up though. He's 3.4, but
still a good price.
Yeah, and hitting the ball. I like a little mini stack with him and Seager. I even like Ty France batting second at second base. So Marmolejos, there you go. I got it. Marmolejos, I think, is going to be probably my value play for cash. Evan White, he's batting seventh though. I was more on him earlier. actually go with the cleanup guy. So I'm looking at Otani, Mancini for cash. I guess we're not even talking about Dan Vogel. But my problem with Dan Vogelback is he could end up getting a pinch hit for as soon as the lefty comes in. But he's in a good spot, only 3K on DK batting second against Alzolay, who we probably should be picking on actually today.
Alzolay is a decent prospect. He's top 100, but he's young. It's the same thing with Casey Mize, who we're going to get to later. We're going to pick on him a lot. He's a monster prospect. I will give you another name. Nationals lineup just came out a little bit ago. Got Josh Bell batting cleanup, 3.1K on FanDuel or on DraftKings.
I had him actually noted earlier, but I wasn't sure if he was playing, so I could line up his out. Cleanup against. I said I'm not a John Gant guy. I think the Nationals can take advantage of him. Good spot. This is gonna make things tough. You can also get Otani in the outfield.
Outfield eligible, yeah.
There's plenty of outfields like you that I want to hit these Astros, probably some A's. So Bell at 3-1. Yeah, I mean
that may be
on righty.
That may be your value at first base.
Oh, Josh Bell's a switch hitter, right? So yeah, that's probably your value. I mean, Wilmer Flores, always put him in GPP territory. He's facing a lefty, Miley, GPP though. So yeah, I guess Otani and I guess Josh Bell's got to be part of the conversation right now.
Yeah, Josh Bell has a 270 ISO against righties, so plenty of power, 374 WOBA. Those are good numbers. So yep, put Josh Bell on your radar as the value option. We like Otani. Vogelbach's going to see some ownership, but I think we both agree, I can get Josh Bell, shouldn't have to worry about getting subbed out. He actually has better numbers. He's got higher WOBA, higher ISO, less sub worry. So I like Josh Bell coming in at 3,100 as your value at the position.
And I may end up switching Otani to the outfield. Was
you could
same price as Kyle Tucker.
Yep. And then again, want to mention Jared Walsh is surprisingly batting cleanup. So he is 3,100 on FanDuel. Certainly a nice play that comes in, 1,600 cheaper than his DraftKings price. So anytime I talk about it all the time with basketball, especially, you see those big pricing discrepancies, it's going to drive up ownership because that tells you one site's a little bit soft on the guy. So, all right, let's move to second base. Right now it's looking like Ozzie Albies is your ownership play over on DraftKings. He comes in at just 4,500. How do you feel about that?
I'm not an Albies guy. To me, Albies is more of a GPP play, but he's going to catch some ownership. He went yard last night. If anything, I'm more on Altuve tonight. I don't think I'm going to go there. I think Altuve is a much better play, mainly because I do like Houston tonight. There's a righty going as Casey Mize, who's a righty, but still, you got 343 since 2019 against righties. To me, Altuve's a play. I'm getting Jazz Chisholm in here somewhere. I'm getting Chisholm in my second base or shortstop. I just love the spot he's in. Stolen base guy. He's got that rare power, rare speed, batting six, left-handed bat in Atlanta. I was going to say earlier that Atlanta ballpark was built for Freddie Freeman to hit home runs. So anytime you get a lefty, another team coming in, you want to look at him. I like Chisholm here. Now I'm seeing Odor is actually playing tonight too at 2.9 for the Yankees. He's in play, I would say, for cash. So this may be the position you drop down to her because I'm not sure if there's other spots I like better. So this might be the spot where I'm going to go a little bit cheaper and go to like a Chisholm or maybe even Odor. And who else we got?
I want to say I've actually like DJ LeMahieu as my pay up option. If I'm paying up, he's got a whopping he's just a lefty killer. 432 WOBA, 224 ISO. We do a stats based rank that's strictly based on batter and pitcher stats, and he runs away with the position. It's really not close.
Well, he's got to hit. He's got to hit every game this season. The problem is he hasn't so much power yet.
I get the Altuve play, but I actually, if I'm paying up, I would probably try to get DJ, but he's priced accordingly. He's 5,500 on DraftKings. Good luck getting that. 36 on FanDuel is a little more manageable. I certainly like him there. The Chisholm play, kid's going to be a stud. He's 300 cheaper than Ozzy on FanDuel. You're taking a little bit of risk going there. Ozzy's pretty cheap on FanDuel, 2,800, batting second.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's too cheap on FanDuel.
he'll be pretty chalky. Let me confirm here. What do you think of? All right, so Matt Carpenter's batting seventh. He
That's
comes in at 2,100 on FanDuel. Do you like that
that just
play?
yeah, that took a downgrade for me. He was one of my top plays.
Yeah, he was projected
This
that higher.
morning, got the positive platoon split with Fed. So, but batting seventh, I'd rather go with a Chisholm. I'd probably rather go with Odor. Ty Francis as another name I like. Once again, I like that Baltimore Seattle game. I think France is a good spot. And a lot of people saying Ty France is too expensive, but Ty France is a good ball player. You got he's 4K, but going against, I mean, I want to pick on Kremer. There's Radion and Remy, but still, probably more of a GPP play. I like the LeMahieu call, but like I said, LeMahieu just hasn't shown much power yet. He's probably the safest play on the board. He's got a floor, but he hasn't shown, he doubles really home runs yet, but he's getting hit in every game. So,
And then I know one last play I want to mention at the position is red hot is Escobar for Arizona.
yeah, I didn't know here to talk about him, and I did. I guess I was talking about third base. He's had a home run in 4 straight games, and he's still 3,700. The problem with Escobar, I think, is why he's not getting the ownership. He's still only hitting 216. So, but he's got 8 ribbies, 4 home runs, 9 runs scored, which actually is leading the NL. So he's going against Bassett, career 4.62 ERA.
Well, now, Bassett actually quietly top 10 ERA in the league last year, but
So
he had a tough debut this year.
no, I just read that wrong. He's got a 4.60 ERA on the road, 2.78 ERA at home, and they're playing in Arizona. That was the point I was trying to make before. I didn't know.
No, I know. So, I gotta stick up for him. For those who don't know, Chris Bassett actually is from my hometown. So, well, he's from the town I live in now. So, Chris Bassett's he's my boy. So I gotta defend him here.
Oh, especially at home. To me, he's a lock at home when he's pitching at home.
But you're right. He's in play. Escobar's red hot. Which batting 6. I'm a little surprised he's batting that low.
Yeah, I picked up on that too a little while ago. So that kind of downgrades him a little bit too. Yeah, but this Diamondbacks team is sneaky. Seems like every year they get hot in April. So you want to watch out today. They have some lefties. They have a lot of lefties. Peralta, Asdrubal. Cole's batting second, all lefties. I mean, Matter's batting 5th. Matter's should be batting in front of Escobar right now.
If Bassett's not on it, they're throwing a lot of lefties out there. All right, let's move on to third base. Yes, Escobar is listed at second and third. I just happened to see his name, so that's why I mentioned him. So we have a very chalky play at third base. Pretty cut and dry here. Matt Chapman on both sides.
Yeah, he's going to be a chalk. Man, yeah, we want to beat up on Mad Bum with these A's right-handed power hitters. Chapman does fit in as the play. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's going to be as high owners as we all think. I mean, he really hasn't. He hasn't had a hit in 4 games. His last was 4 games, but he's 2 for 4. Yeah, on paper, he's a play against Bumgarner. Bumgarner gives up over 40% hard contact. Man, I'll tell you though, I can't get. Kyle Seager is on fire right now. And I'm all over Kyle Seager right now. To me, I'm probably going to ride him out hitting third against Kramer, but Chapman is the play. Seager, I think, is $100 more. So it's not like you make much of a difference.
Actually, 200 less on FanDuel, though.
I mean, he's probably the highest start his career now. Seager's hitting 333, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, stolen base in 9 games. Gets a great matchup today. Against Kramer's only pitched 21 innings in his career. I don't know. To me, Chapman's always been a GPP play. Like the Chapman and Matt Olson, these guys. Maybe not tonight because it's against Mad Bum. But I don't know. I haven't made a decision yet, but it's either going to be Seager or Chapman. There's really nobody else to go. Brian Anderson, maybe at 3-3. Who else is there even to talk about at third?
I'll throw a name at you.
Cash.
I'll throw a name at you.
Longo.
How about Urshela?
Yeah, Urshela.
Yeah. So he's actually got
He's far too cheap.
he's got some monster numbers. He's got 358 Woba. He doesn't have quite as much power as the other guys, but he's still right at that 200 mark that you really want to look for, especially in your cash games. Yeah, batting fifth,
Coming off a big
4,200,
game.
only 2,400 on FanDuel. That's a sneaky play here. I think I'd rather
Yep.
play him than Brian Anderson on FanDuel at the same exact price.
Gio's come off a 4-for-5 game with a double, a home run yesterday, 3 ribbies. And actually, he's hotter than I thought. He was 0-for-3 on Saturday, but then in 2 days, 4 days, 2-for-5, 1-for-3, 1-for-4, so 2-for-4 last week. So he's actually been hitting the ball. I look at Urshela more of a GPP play, but you can't deny what he's been doing lately. So I can't get Seager off my mind right now. This is as hot as he been in that game. But yeah, I could see going down there, Urshela. I had no problem with that at all.
And I like really all three of those guys are similarly priced. At the moment, Chapman's looking like the chalk play. I'm going to update this sheet again here a little bit, and definitely take a look at that. See if we've got
long. I'm sorry.
See if we actually. I will say the Chapman numbers have come down a little bit. He's not looking quite as chalk. DJ's pulled up a little bit. Bregman's there as your pay up. Bregman and DJ, both strong plays. Tell you another play we got is Josh Van Meter coming in batting fifth. Let me confirm that. Yes, he's batting fifth.
He's batting fifth.
Only 2.7K. He's second base and third base eligible. So that's that Bassett matchup we talked about earlier. And he's quick. He's a stolen. Well, I'm sorry, that's a Castro. Van Meter's got some power. So
he had 2 hits yesterday, but I don't know. He's not Van Meter's the other one of these guys. Every time like he's in Coors or he's on top of the order, I end up playing him, and he'll get a hit for me. But that's it. But I can see it. I could especially the price 2.7 if you want to dump down.
Yeah, he comes in as a. I would say he comes in as a punt option. If you need it, he's only 2,700, 2K on FanDuel. Certainly in play.
Go sleep on my boy. Go sleep on Longo. He's off to a hot start. He's hitting 333 right now.
Yep,
he's got the positive platoon.
Yep, that's the big thing is he crushes lefties. 385 Woba, 236 ISO, very strong.
He's got 3 homers and 7 ribbies through his first 8 games. So
yeah, he's playing well. All right, let's swing over to shortstop. So this is another position that's looking like just a couple guys really. So we've got Glaber, we've got Correa as your 2 pay up options. Both are similarly priced. 4,500 for Glaber, 46 for Correa. So Glaber has the better matchup on paper. He's batting cleanup, which is a bit of a surprise. 360 Woba, 224 ISO. Those are good. They're not crazy, but they're solid. Correa has very similar numbers. He does have righty on righty though. I know you're a little higher on Correa today, correct?
Yeah, especially and I'm a Yankee fan too. Though to me, Gleyber Torres is a GBP play. He's GBP play every night. I see he's getting the ownership, but even though it's righty on righty for Correa, he said since 2019, 246 ISO, you can't beat that hard hit over 40%. Casey Mize, talented kid, but still throwing a 539 extra bat at us, which is sure as heck not elite. He's a righty. Against righties, he's a much better pitcher against righties. I mean, he actually held righties to 109 ISO, 260 WOBA last year. So maybe Houston's going to beat up on this Detroit team today. And I want a piece of it. And it's probably going to be from the outfield. I just can't see why Gleyber is so popular today. And he's hitting. I mean, he's hitting cleanup. Here's what I can't kick this. Seeing Robbie Ray like Andrew Haney did Friday night. Haney, hard contact pitcher, but also strikeout pitcher. And that's Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray's Robbie Ray from 2016, 17. No, but still, he can still handle. He can still strike out right. He's actually can strike out rays, and he's at over 30% even since 2 years ago, rays and lefties. But the ball's going to fly out of there. So Torres is either going to strike out. I mean, he hasn't hit a home run yet. He's got one double on the year.
Yeah, he's had a bad year. Last game was his first decent game. That's why I was surprised he's batting cleanup.
And they did this to him last year too. And Torres just hasn't done anything in 2020 or 21. So I don't know. Is there anybody else we can look at shortstop where you can go cheaper? I guess, I mean, you do have Chisholm playing there. I said, I'm playing Chisholm somewhere just because he can get you a couple stolen bases. He can get your triple. We seen we did DeGrom the other day. We took that pitch out of the zone and rocked it. Going against Noah, who's got a 5.87 in his ERA, small sample, 30 innings, but still, is there anybody else we can look at?
Well, that's part of why Glaber is projecting to be pretty high owned, is because of the pricing at the position. Everybody's priced higher than him, really, that's batting in his range. So Correa and Glaber, that's why they're projected to see ownership, because they're the only ones really in top 5 roles on a high scoring team that's batting in the top 5. All these other guys are cheaper, but they're batting lower. So,
Trey's the play if you had the perfect role, if you had the money.
Yeah, exactly. But Trey's 5'4". I mean, he's a full grand more than those guys are. I do like Chisholm coming in at 6 at 3.3. He might be the cheapest guy batting the highest. 3.8's not a bad total either. You do have DeJong at 4.4, but again, same pricing area as the other guys, and they're batting a little bit higher in the order and have higher totals, which is why the ownership's gonna lead towards those guys.
Here's another thing. Now, remember, Rodon, and somebody said it actually in the chat, Rodon is not starting tonight. He was sick. So Dallas Keuchel is getting a start. Now, Keuchel's, you got Ramon Rosario batting 6, and I would really only consider Rosario if he's batting 6 against the lefty, and Rodon and Keuchel both lefties. What about Rosario?
Yeah, I mean, you got a little wind blowing out there as well. You could go Rosario at 3.7. He's got some stolen base upside. Yeah, I mean, that's just shortstop's either going to be, Glaber, Correa, or like a Chisholm, Rosario. Otherwise, you're looking at super low ownership for anywhere else you go with it.
There's a big difference if you look at Rosario's slash line from righties or lefties, 302, 341, 470. Yep. Righties only 255, 289. So 289, 376. That's a big difference. So if I'm gonna play Rosario, it would be tonight, on night like tonight. But
we do have Elvis listed high as a potential punt. He's batting 8th. His numbers are not good anymore. He's all the way down to, and this is a 3-year running total, so it's not like a small sample. He's all the way down to 287 WOBA, 133 ISO against lefties. So even in a positive split, I think I'd rather go Chisholm for 200 more on DraftKings. I guess if you need to punt the spot on FanDuel, he makes sense, but I'd rather just spend $600 and get Glaber at $2,700 on FanDuel. All right, let's move on to a loaded outfield. We've teased it a couple times. I think you got to play Houston lefties. So we've got, let me confirm the lineup here for Houston. We've got.
The only problem is Tucker's batting a little bit lower in the order.
Tucker's batting 7th. So really, we got Brantley though. Brantley's batting 2nd. So you've got Brantley, a lefty, and Jordan batting 2nd and 4th. So I think you got to get one of these guys in your lineup, right?
Yeah, Jordan's in my lineup. There's no doubt. Huge ISO 4-1 roll, but righties. I guess I said this the highest implied game. I had Tucker and Jordan on my lineup. Perfect world, you want Soto. This is double dong night for Soto. He should rake Gant, but I don't think we can afford him, especially when we got Glasnow pitching. So I wanted Tucker and Alvarez. What's the difference in price between Tucker and Brantley?
So Brantley's actually more expensive. Brantley's 4,500, 41. So, but listen, I mean, if they get through this, we saw the Indians drop double digits on to Tigers, and that may be the worst offense in the league. So there's a decent chance that it doesn't even matter that Tucker is batting 7th. He's going to get a ton of at-bats here.
And he's crushing righties to start the season. He's probably my top play of the day. I mean, yeah, his average is low. It's under 200. He's already got 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 7 runs scored. So um, I'm probably going to lock in Alvarez and Tucker, and then probably run it back with an A, like a Canna, somebody like that. If I can find somebody cheaper, Taylor Trammell, something like that. But you want at least one Astro and probably one A righty power hitter against Mad Bum, and then find somebody else cheaper as your third spot in the value. And there's a few out there.
Yeah, we've got some options. I'm just kind of looking through here, see if any surprising
Corey,
plays.
and I wanted to bring up is Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson is my sneaky play. I would, unless he's catching ownership, but you got Dickerson, what, 3-1?
Yeah, he'll catch a little bit. We've got Cooper and Dickerson as the 2 punts on the board, both top 3, both 3.1 or below. In Dickerson's case, he's got an ISO over 200, which again is that number that I really like to look for my cash plays. 200 is a really good number. It means they got a lot of power.
And I'll play Corey Dickerson like once every 3 weeks when he's going against a righty in a certain stadium. And this stadium is built for those little power lefties like Dickerson against Noah, who, if anything, he's going to give up hard contact. Actually, they're both lefties and righties. Dickerson is probably my play. He's 3 at 3-1 in DK, 2-3 on FanDuel. So it's probably be Dickerson, but you can play Canna. You can play Laureano. Any of these guys, Steven Pisciotti, I guess, is in play for Oakland. Who we got anybody for the Brewers we got going against?
Yeah, so the Brewers are pretty cheap. You got Kane leading off. It doesn't have the power anymore, but he does have some speed. We've got Avicel batting cleanup again at 3-3, and
Bradley
3-1. So you've got some options there as well. The entire Brewers are super cheap. We do have a little bit of a wind blown out in that game as well. Victor Robles is also leading off. He's got some speed. He's only 3,200. That's another option for the Nationals here.
Also, don't sleep on Mitch Haniger for Seattle, and Tyler Naquin should be leading off, right?
Yep, he is leading.
Oh, Winker's leading off. Winker.
No, not Winker. No, Haniger's leading off.
Wait, yeah. But then I said Tyler Naquin, but we got.
Oh yeah. I don't know what. He is off today.
Naquin's not playing.
Just again looking through some other pricing plays really quick. There's actually a lot of options here to make this work. Slater and Darren Ruff are 3-5 and 3-4 for the Giants, who have implied total 4-4. That's not bad. Adam Eaton coming in at 3-7. GPP play here. Jordan Luplow is a lefty killer. He'll get subbed out though. GPP only. And Keuchel's a good pitcher, so I'm not rushing to play him, but GPP absolutely. The entire Arizona starters are cheap. You got LeCastro, Cole Calhoun, David Peralta, all 3-5 or below.
I like the Slater call. The Slater call at 3-5. I'm gonna play him. He's cheap on Showdown too tonight.
Yeah, so you're gonna get plays like that for pretty cheap. Dylan Carlson coming in for St. Louis at only 3-3. Batting 5th. That's another option here. So there's a lot of options at the outfield. We'll see that ownership tighten up here a little bit. I'm going to update that cheat sheet when we're done, so you can see where the ownership's coming in. You can also use the stats on there. That's what they're there for. They're based on handedness. It's a 3-year running total now. It's 2019, 2 years, but 3 physical years, 2019, 20, and then this year. So it's plenty big sample size. Again, so what you're seeing for Jordan, for instance, is based on his numbers against righties. So really important to take into account the splits aspect when we do this, and we do. So a couple pay up GPP plays because I think it's going to be hard to get up to anybody above Jordan really. Aaron Judge, monster numbers. Soto, you mentioned monster numbers. Mike Trout, monster numbers. These guys all have over 300 ISO. I mentioned Jordan Luplow. Jordan Luplow has a 371 ISO against lefties. That's what makes him kind of the ultimate GPP play. Jared Walsh, who I mentioned at first base on FanDuel, is another guy. He has a 314 ISO. That's a bit smaller of a sample size, but those are monster numbers. So some GPP plays for you. Walsh is a cash play in FanDuel. Got anything else at the outfield here that you're liking?
No, and what I've been pretty much doing, I've been pretty much using outfield as value spots, at least like one or two spots, as I
Been a
build,
lot, yeah.
when you get a stud shortstop playing or a stud third baseman anymore, but just so many ways to go, and that's the way again tonight.
So as
Yeah.
we're talking, are you going to have to fade Otani now because he comes in? Are you going to play him at first over
I'm I'm
Bell?
I'm probably still gonna play him at first. So I'll probably still go value at outfield.
Yeah, there's a ton of 3 to 3.5 options at the outfield that you could pick your spots and get a quality play.
And
Do you want
worst
to
kinds of
mention?
worse, you could drop down to Odor at second base or something. That
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you can always we've got that Alex Jackson play at catcher 2-3 is going to open up a ton of salary.
That's I forgot about Jackson already. There you go.
Yep, yep. Just real quick, FanDuel, Corey Dickerson, 2,300, really nicely priced. I thought is Stan out? Yeah, Stan's out. Sorry. Cole Calhoun, 2,600. I think Dickerson's probably your punt at the position. Ahmad Rosario comes in. We mentioned him. He's only 2,200, so there's another punt. So lots of FanDuel pricing's been pretty soft all year. You can really load up on bats. So the cheat sheet's been pretty easy to use for FanDuel. So certainly take a look at that. All right, let's take a real quick look at prize picks, and then we will get out of here and leave you guys plenty of time to build.
Actually, I put in my article today. I have Seager over 7,
Yep, he's still at 7.
and I like Eimer Candelario. I like Eimer Candelario. I got Candelario at 5.5. I have him as an over 5.5. Let me see if anything else. I like Taylor Trammell. He's only 6.5. Hitting the ball well.
Jordan's at 8.5. I mean, if he has the day we think he can have, he should be able to hit that over. Obviously, that's a big number, but he should be able to hit that. What do you think?
Franmil Reyes, 6.5.
Yeah, that's pretty low. He's got homers in a couple games in a row now.
And turn around and Luis Robert, 6/6. I didn't notice Robert 6 earlier.
Yeah, he's off to a little bit of a slow start, but still. Oh gosh, you got the single stats are pretty nice here. You've got DJ's got a hit in every game. His line's 1.5 hits plus walks. He should be able to hit. He's going to get a hit. He's probably going to get 2. So I like the over there on the single stat, 1.5 hits plus walks. Taking a look through here real quick. These are all at 1.5. So Juan Soto. Gosh, there's a lot of options here. Jordan's at 1.5. That may be the way to attack baseball here. That's pretty low numbers. Runs plus RBIs.
They also have total bases.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, now Stanton 0.5.
Well, he's out. Stanton's not starting.
Giancarlo Stanton's not starting.
Yep. Clint Frazier, half a base. He's going to get a hit tonight. I'd be surprised.
I have Stanton batting 2nd.
Oh, did I look right? Oh, I'm sorry. He is. I looked right past him. My bad.
I have Sanchez is out, and unless he's Sanchez DH, no. Sanchez, though, they have Sanchez. That's another name, Clint Frazier.
Yep, Clint Frazier coming in at only half the total base. He should be able to get that.
Yep, Frazier on DK too. I like that spot batting 6th.
Yeah, guys, take a look at these single stats for baseball. There's some things to like here that may end up proving to be actually a little bit easier than these the actual fantasy scores, especially if they're going to keep them kind of low like this. So obviously baseball's tough. You're the best hitters in the world get a hit 3 of every 10 at bats, but it's a very stat driven sport. You get a pitcher, for instance, tonight, Casey Mize is a good young pitcher, but he gets hammered by lefties. So, you got Jordan on the board, for instance. The stats are all pointing to, hey, he's going to have a good night. So baseball is fairly predictable.
Am I reading this right? So 0.5 stolen bases, all you need is a walk or a hit, and you already got it, right?
For the total bases or what?
0.5 total bases.
Yeah, I mean, anything. Walk or hit. Yeah, walk or a single.
So as long as you don't go 0 for 4, hit by pitch. Any of
Yeah.
this? Okay. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
loose,
No,
in
I
my
wasn't ready
opinion.
for that. Let me see here. Total bases is the number of bases players gained with a hit. Walks. Okay, so it has to be a hit though, but
Okay.
still that's 0.5 is very reachable for a lot of these guys. All right. Do you have anything else, Pete, before we get out of here?
No, only thing I was going to mention is looking at stacks. We pretty much already said it. Oakland A's right-handed bats against Mad Bum, 40% hard contact. Astros lefty bats, like the Yankees today. I like Seattle today. I do like Baltimore today. Maybe they might be a little bit lower owned contrarian, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree with all of those. You're probably going to get, the Baltimore. Really, both sides of that game are going to come in lower own. Makes for a nice GPP stack. It's going to be a fairly chalky slate, but it's still. Don't be afraid to eat the chalk that's in a good spot, and then just win with your other guys. So,
Remember, this is a big slate. So
yeah,
get away from some of these like Yankees and A's if you're making multi GPPs also too. Be
yeah,
different today.
yep,
I
yep,
think they're gonna be popular, and it's too big of a slate for these guys to be popular.
yep. And as always, grab some of those big boy bats that are in good spots because it's hard to get them. So in GPPs, that makes for a great play because you're going to get them at a little bit lower ownership than typical. So, all right, well, I think that's all we got, right?
Yep, I'm good. Good
All
luck,
right, good luck,
guys.
guys. I will be updating the cheat sheet right now. So swing over, check that out. You'll have updated projected ownership. Pair that with the article and what we talked about here, and you're going to be in good shape.
All right, let's see some green.
All right, good luck, guys.